In today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be taking a look at the secrets, the unknown of Cayo Perico. And that is because, well, there's no water anymore. So in today's video, we're going to be exploring the dark depths of the ocean, but without water, because it makes our life way easier. And I wanted to just see if there was any like cool little Easter eggs or any sort of, I don't know, just cool stuff that Rockstar put on the ocean floor on this new island. And I've already seen a couple of things. I haven't explored this fully. We're gonna do that together in this video, but I have seen a couple of things that have stood out that looked interesting. So hopefully we can check those out. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Now, if you were wondering what the island looked like without water from above, here you go. It's actually kind of buggy, and I'm guessing that's because, of course, the water hides these bugs when you're on this island or this high from the island normally. But you can see there are certain parts of the actual like ground, I guess, that disappear until you get close, and then they spawn in. So it is interesting to actually see that. But apart from that, it is cool just to see what, I guess, the ocean floor looks like from above, because obviously closer to the island it's not as deep, but then at a certain point it just sort of drops off, and you can actually see the other ocean, I think, right there. Yeah, and I believe in that direction is Los Santos. You can actually see there's a plane up there. There's also a little boat in the water, so if we were to head in this direction, then we'd eventually get to Los Santos. But I noticed that the land just stops. So I wonder, like in online, if you were to just swim and follow the ocean, the bottom, the floor of the ocean, if it would just end up stopping like this, because it is kind of weird how it just happens. I guess Rockstar probably weren't expecting people to do this, so they maybe never really expected anyone to find out. But there is a decently sized part of the ocean floor that's just sort of there. And actually one of our first, look at this, one of our first little, I guess, Easter eggs or hidden little secrets in the ocean is this plane. And this might be one of the same planes in some of the missions that Rockstar have made. I think they had a similar plane. Of course, this one has this like green and black sort of, like it's been, like the color scheme, like it's been underwater. I think, is that the Luxor? This might be the Luxor. But there's a crashed plane. So look, maybe some lore. Maybe there was someone trying to get to this island, they crashed their plane. You never know. But apart from that, again, just a quick other overview. Over here on the left-hand side, it definitely drops off a lot further. But getting a little closer, you'll, of course, notice all of the mines. And one thing I was wondering, I was curious about, because I hadn't swum around the entirety of the map in, like, online. I was wondering if the mines actually extend around the entirety of the island. And they do. Although there are some parts that there's much more than others. I mean, right here, there's a ton of them. So if you ever come into this island and you're in the water or you're in a boat or something, don't go this way. There are way too many mines in this area. And it's not like you won't be able to, you know, dodge them. You can very easily dodge them, but it's just the fact that you don't have to worry about it. So we'll take a look at that when we get to the other side of the island. I'll show how there's just a lack of these mines over there. But also the coral. There's a bunch of coral here, and I guess this is just the way the game works, the way it spawns things. You have to be really close. You can see it's literally spawning right in front of our faces. And that is something interesting. Rockstar made this like this, and I doubt anyone really ever notices, because no one's ever really out here in the middle of the ocean scuba diving. And honestly, when there is water, you know, you can only see, what, 5 feet in front of you, so you would never notice all of these little flower coral patterns, you know, spawning in. Now, looking or trying to find some of the little secret hidden stuff, one of the coolest things I think I found was actually over here, and this is sort of like, I guess, a drug smuggling boat. Let me get out of the free cam mode, and we're just gonna play it normally. But yeah, you can actually see there's like a little, I guess, like a boat slash submarine. There's some, I guess, cocaine dead body out the window. It actually reminds me a little bit of the police boats. I think maybe from like, maybe it was from GTA 4. I don't know. It has just a vibe about it. And I would say this could be a pretty cool vehicle. I don't know if this is any hint towards, you know, new vehicles coming, but this could be a cool vehicle. I mean, obviously it's ocean specific. I don't think they could make this grow wheels or something, right, to work on land, but a submarine boat like this could be actually pretty cool. I do like the sort of shape, the size of it is kind of neat. So that's probably one of the cooler things that I found. But as we continue, before we go into the deeper parts, we're gonna venture this way because I've not actually been this way. Of course, we have the beach over here. This is where you would do all of your whatever. This is where you get back to the island, I guess, because there'd be a little guard. You could fly back that way. But wait, what the heck? There's actually sea ray. What the heck is that? That can't be how it normally works, right? Because there's no animals in online. That's weird. That might be a mod. I don't know. I do see sharks floating out in the distance. That could be a mod. But you guys see the buoys. The buoys, they float, and because there's no water, they all drop. So that's kind of cool. It's interesting. Now, I wonder if there's any like whale bones, because up here on the shore, there's the actual whale carcass. And it'd be interesting to see if there's any whale bones out in the ocean. Nothing in this little cove. Oh, actually, no, we do have some in this cove. We have another little part where they dropped some cocaine, it looks like. Little shipment it fell off. And then we have some little boats here. What is this? Ooh, a hidden cache. Interesting. I've never actually noticed this. Now, that's not in the ocean, so you can probably just go find that regularly. But over here is where we of course, find the whale. Whale, unfortunately, has died. It has went ashore. That's not in the ocean. That's just on the beach. But over here, I don't see anything right now. So I think we're just going to see some coral, and you'll see some sharks flopping to their death. So I guess in the shallow parts, not really anything hidden. Actually, kind of close to shore, we have just, I guess, I don't know, maybe some containers that are just messed up. Some crane parts. I don't know. Rockstar probably just threw these in here. Don't look like they tell a story. I did, however, see a pretty big shipwreck way out here. Oh, there it is, way in the distance. So that's cool. Now, if you're like me and you're playing the Cayo Perico heist, you're more than likely escaping just by swimming in the ocean with like a rebreather. So some of the stuff you might have actually noticed. Like, of course, this is massive, so you probably have seen this already. But in case you hadn't, there's a giant shipwreck. And this actually is kind of cool, I think, because there's some interesting vehicles, it looks like, that were wrecked along with the ship. We have a truck here. Sort of old school style trucks and vehicles here. Wonder, is there ammo in here? No way. Surely there's not, right? That's like the ammo crate that you would find in the certain missions. Nope, can't even destroy it. That is a giant. I'm just noticing the scale of these things are massive. Holy. I don't think Rockstar were really expecting. That is a huge truck. I don't think Rockstar were expecting us to dive deep into this. But I will say, a couple of weeks ago, I made a Rockstar logic on how the doors in Los Santos were giant. I am curious. We're going to spawn in a regular truck, and we're going to see, because this to my right is massive. Yeah. Okay. Dude, this is insane. Holy. Maybe this is the lore behind GTA. Maybe giants were here. We had giant doors, giant trucks. I mean, we're in the barracks military truck. And this is dwarfed by that one. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, continuing on, let me spawn my other vehicle back again. So in addition to the giant truck, we have some tanks, actually. Some sort of old school tanks. I'm actually surprised Rockstar made a whole new model for these tanks. Although these could be the same models from the junkyard in the game. Of course, they have the green and sort of black, like the color scheme, like they've been underwater forever. Maybe we get a tank like this in the future. You never know. I think these are all the same though. We got some more of these just giant trucks. Although this one doesn't look too big. Although no, that is pretty. No, it's a decent sized truck. I mean, it's still bigger than most, but that first one was massive. I guess this is the engine of whatever this is, the ship. And we have some moving seaweed that we cannot go through. Impenetrable seaweed. All right, well, this might be the most interesting with the giant freaking truck. Here's a better look at the tank, I guess. All right, so that's kind of cool. So a shipwreck off of the island. Maybe they were bringing drugs. I guess they were bringing tanks. Maybe El Rubio was planning for something. You never know. Maybe that ties into the next DLC. Who knows? But that is okay. That's one interesting thing. Now over here, I think this is just empty land. I don't even think coral spawns. If we get closer, no, it does not look like that. So this is just empty land. Oh my gosh, this goes on forever. Holy. So yeah, you could imagine if you wanted to, you can just swim forever out here. Nothing's gonna spawn that way. So let's go back to the shore. And we can find some more juicy stuff out here in the ocean. So as we just venture along the coast, you'll actually see that the amount of these mines, they do go down. And there is one particular part where there's only like a couple. So maybe when you're trying to escape, that might be the way to do it. But as we just continue around, the next thing, look at this. This actually answers a bunch of questions. So if you've been following some of my videos, you'll notice that this skeleton is actually in GTA Online. Like Los Santos, not Cayo Perico. And it's simply just floating in the ocean. And I think I thought initially that this was some sort of Easter egg, or maybe this was Rockstar trying to, I don't know, showcase or tease something. I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I think what ended up happening was Rockstar, when they deleted the Cayo Perico Island for regular online, they just forgot to delete this skeleton. So, yeah, it's a little underwhelming, but it is cool to see it without the water. It's not as big as the water made it look to be, which is interesting. Now, on this backside of the island, it definitely gets way deeper, way quicker. The drop off, you can see, is pretty steep. So if you ever needed to get further down, I guess maybe this is the way to go. But we're gonna eventually go to the part I think a lot of people make their way to and probably have explored just because you're in this area a decent amount, and that is the underground tunnel to El Rubio's compound. This is where we find some cool stuff. We have some containers. We have those same, I don't know, metal pieces that are just down here. But there's actually some interesting stuff in these containers, or in some of these containers. I believe we have to go over to closer towards the actual mansion. And, oh, here we go. So here's the entrance, of course, to the mansion. You can go that way. Cut it all open. We're going to get off our bike there real quick. Because look at this. I mean, I'm sure that maybe a lot of people have seen this, but there's the car with a couple of bodies. There's one body in the trunk here, which begs the question, actually, how did this car get here? I mean, maybe they drove it off of that, but there's a mansion right there. So how, you know, but there's one body, there's two bodies, there's three bodies. Maybe the guy who ended up on shore in Los Santos when they were teasing this DLC, maybe he was a part of this group, but somehow he escaped, or his body escaped and made it through. Some cool area, pretty cool area over here with the rocks and everything. A lot of the containers are just sort of, they are empty with some rocks and some coral stuff, seaweed in them. So I guess, yeah, as far as some cool stuff over here goes, the bodies are probably the best. Here's a truck though. So I guess a couple of cars made their way into the ocean. Not really sure what happened. Now, if we actually go inside of the tunnel, does this take us to the top? It is very dark in here, I will say. Oh, okay. So we just turn to... Wait, what? What's going on here? We got some spooky stuff. Did the water just come back? All right, well, I guess there's invisible water there. So we're just going to let it be. As we continue our journey, though, like I said, I think that was pretty much everything around this particular area. A lot more of these mines over here, just to point out. Now, here we have another one of those skeletons. Maybe this is the one that's in online. I don't know if it's this one or the other one, but they do have another one of these skeletons just chilling out here on the ocean floor. This one isn't surrounded by a whole bunch of coral or anything, just sort of by itself. But yeah, it is pretty cool. Now, the one thing that I haven't seen yet, I don't think we'll see it. I don't think there's going to be any UFOs out here on the ocean like there is in Los Santos. I guess they don't make their way to Cayo Perico. Over here, though, on the true backside of the island, this is where there's almost no mines. So if you are trying to escape and you don't want to have to deal with the mines, make your way towards this lighthouse over here. And you can see there's literally like 2. And then you're home free. So if you're trying to escape, this is definitely the way to do it. Just simply swim out as far as you can, and eventually the game will trigger the cutscene and the heist will end. But in any of these bays, I don't think there's anything major. I mean, I guess there's, again, some more like cocaine stuff, some more pallets that have fallen off, just chilling out in the ocean. Too bad we couldn't collect those, you know. Now, I don't know why this is by itself, but there is a lone starfish, 2 starfishes, just chilling out here in this little cove. A lot of coral, I will say. Now, if you were wondering if there's anything out here in the deep darkness of the far out ocean, there's not a whole bunch, honestly. There's definitely not. Now, it is kind of cool and kind of unique to see the little towns on the ocean without any water, because, of course, there'd be a little river here, and you'd drive your boat, make your way into the land. It is kind of cool to see this without water. There's nothing interesting, though, on the bottom of it. Oh, there is another interesting thing out here in the ocean, though. So this one's a little further out, and it's actually, looks like it's a downed plane. So we have the tail, I guess, right there. You have a little engine, some wheels. You have the plane wing, the main body. This actually looks like a different plane than the first one. This is more of a, I don't know, I guess a bigger plane. Is this the Miljet? Is the Miljet this size? It looks similar with the red. But that is another plane. So I guess there's a lot of downed planes out here in Cayo Perico. Not safe to fly, looks like. Now, probably the most interesting thing is a little ways from that plane. This is on the ocean floor. There's a freaking volcano with a meteor. I actually am kind of curious. I almost would want to go into Cayo Perico in online and go find this. Now, if you're wondering where we are on the map, I mean, you can see, I guess we're somewhat near the top of it. But yeah, it's literally a freaking little volcano with a meteorite. Just chilling out here. Weird. And if you actually shoot it, it moves. Now, I guess you can't shoot it in online because you can't shoot underwater. But I wonder, like, can we... Hold on, let's try and get the up and atomizer. Damn, even the up and atomizer doesn't really budget. But it did move a little bit. So maybe there's only a certain part you can move. But yeah, a freaking meteorite just chilling out here in the ocean. Makes you wonder, why isn't it floating? I guess rocks don't float, but hey, it's from space, right? So maybe some different materials in it. Who knows? But yeah, it's just, that's the only sort of odd thing or interesting thing out in the very far reaches of the ocean. Because you can see, here's that plane again. And then we're going to be back to the shore. So yeah, it's just chilling out there. And I don't know if that's a little intentional thing from Rockstar, but a freaking little volcano with a meteor. Just chilling in the ocean. And then we have another odd thing. I don't know what, is this supposed to be like an old time boat? Looks like there's looks like something that like you'd find in like the 1800s. They're trying to use the water to get electricity or something. But it's just, yeah, it's just chilling out here in the ocean again. Crashed. I don't know if, I mean, yeah, I don't know if anyone has any idea what this could be. Because it looks like they used them maybe as engines on both sides of whatever this is. Maybe this is like a early submarine. Who knows? But it is a cool little thing out there. And then we slowly make our way back actually to the beach. And there's not a whole bunch more out here, honestly. You can see on this side, it also does fall off pretty drastically. So if you were curious, oh, well, this might be the first plane we saw, but here is another plane if it's not. So yeah, I guess as far as like, I guess hidden stuff in the Cayo Perico Island, there's not, I guess, a whole bunch out in the ocean, but there are some little things that is kind of cool. And the only other place I wanted to check out was the little town over this way. So as our frames just kind of tank because Cayo Perico still isn't optimized, this is the other little town. This one has a little bit of a longer inlet. And this one actually does have some stuff in it. I feel like that's probably not safe. You have boats. They might hit that, right? I should clean that up, El Rubio. It goes inland, though. This is the way it goes inland. And yeah, it just sort of ends, I guess, up here. Oh, there are a couple of cars in here, though. So look, I guess driving vehicles into the ocean, into the water, was a thing on this island. Not really sure why they did that. But there are, what, that's five vehicles that are in the ocean. So, yeah, that is the Cayo Perico Island with no water. Let's get away from this area so we get some frames back. It is cool just to get a different perspective. And you can see how many of the mines are actually on this island. And they're mainly just on this side, because as you saw on the other side, there's only like 2. So if you were trying to escape, the other side of the island is definitely better. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Have you found any other secrets maybe that I missed somehow? But that's going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching. Actually, to end it, what we're going to do is simply just drive and see what happens when we get to the edge, because I am curious. And as we break the barrier, we enter nothing. Okay, we go back to the land. So there you go. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more GTA content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.